Hi everybody, it's Wendy Kirk. Welcome to my kitchen today. I'm here to demonstrate a Greek yogurt brownie recipe. The purpose of this activity is to increase fine and gross motor skills and to do a step-by-step recipe to make brownies. First of all, I'm going to start off with, I have two bowls. One bowl is for your wet ingredients, and the second bowl is over here, and that is for your dry. I want to make sure that all my countertops are totally clear and I get all of my ingredients, as you see right here, along with my utensils, measuring spoons, cups, and a stirring spoon. I want to make sure all that's out before I get started here. The population for this type of activity would be probably about the age of 14 to 80 because of the entire process of baking and having the heat and remembering the pot holders and following and being able to read the instructions and understand them. So the benefits to doing this brownie activity or this brownie recipe would be to increase your mood and to eat healthier and to increase your health benefits. Some safety precautions, like I said, is using pot holders and making sure there's no tripping hazards on the floor. So therefore, from there, I'm going to start baking our brownies. The first step, I'm going to do the dry ingredients. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of flour. 1/4 cup, a teaspoon of salt. So now I have my measuring spoons, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to do 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. Here's my cocoa powder. You can always improvise and use organic stuff, but I chose to go the little cheaper route and just use the Kroger brand. I'm going to make sure you kind of do it over your bowl or even over your sink. There's a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. We're going to do 3/4 cup of sugar. I don't have a 3/4 cup, so I'm going to use 3 1/4. Here's my sugar container. I'm going to make sure your ingredients is level with your measuring cup every time you measure any type of ingredient when you're cooking. Next, we're going to do 1/4 cup of brown sugar. This is my brown sugar. Light or dark is fine. Just preference is all. As I'm doing this, I also want to say you kind of want to try to clean up and get this stuff out of your way. I'm going to do a 1/2 cup of, I chose dark chocolate morsels, the Nestle kind, because they're healthier for you than milk chocolate. They have better health benefits. I'm going to add that to your dry. Then I'm going to go grab the other bowl over here, which is my electric mixing bowl. I'm going to add 1 egg. And like I said, you can use organic if you like, but I used just regular old plain eggs. Next, I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'll move these ingredients out of the way. Okay, so I got the egg and the vanilla in here. Next, I'm going to add the Greek God's traditional plain yogurt. Go in the fridge. Grab that. I want to add a half a cup of this to my recipe into my electric mixer bowl right here. Grab a spoon. And half cup here. Try to get it into the entire cup, and want to make sure that you fill it up enough. Make sure you get that half cup. I'm going to scoop it out. Put it in my bowl here. Put the spoon and the cup in the sink to make more room. Just back in the fridge. I did forget. In the dry ingredients, you have to also add baking powder. This I'm going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon. So I'm going to take a spoon and I'm going to mix all these dry ingredients together. Make sure that they mix up pretty well. You want to do them in separate bowls because I want to make sure it's all mixed before you mix it all in one. While I'm mixing this, I'm thinking about different special considerations that people could take into account of making, like maybe having bigger handles for people that have those fine motor skills that can't stir. Maybe having an electric mixer like I do would also help somebody, but it might not be feasible with somebody that doesn't have the money because they are quite expensive. And make sure you have nice bright lighting in order to see the recipe. So next, this is mixed up pretty well here. Next, I'm going to go over to my electric mixer over here. I'm going to mix up the wet or liquid ingredients in here. I'm going to let that run for a little bit until it's mixed. I do want to say that I spent about 30 minutes at the grocery store picking up all these items. Like I said, it approximately costs probably about $12 to make this nice little healthy dessert treat. It takes about 10 minutes to actually mix up all the ingredients and about 20 minutes to cook. While this is mixing, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350. So that's there. It's preheating right now. So, as you can see, this is pretty mixed up in the bowl. I'm going to stop there. And I was mixing that on low speed. I'm going to grab my dry mix right here, and I'm going to slowly add it to the mixture in this bowl. Slowly add it so it makes sure. Slowly add the mixture to make sure it mixes well. I'm just going to add a little bit, mix a little bit more. You want to make sure while you're doing this recipe, you're able to reach, you're able to bend over, you're able to pick up stuff, because that's very, very important. While you're doing this too, you want to make sure you can also sequence. The sequence is important when it comes to cooking. You need to be able to follow a recipe step by step in order for the actual recipe to turn out and taste good. Pacing is also another thing. Have patience when it's in the oven. Okay, that's good. I'm just scraping the excess brownie mix off the mixer tool. I got it off. The recipe says you need to take some cooking spray and you need to take a 9x9 baking dish. You can use either a glass one or a non-stick pan. And shake that up and make sure you cover all the sides and the bottom of the pan. You want to dump the mix in like so. The reason why this recipe and cooking is good is because it improves your quality of life. You know, being able to cook and eat healthy and prevents for diseases and obesity. So I'm just trying to coordinating, holding the bowl in my hand as I'm holding the spatula in my hand and putting the mix into the pan. So now I want to make sure that the brownie mix is all even in the bottom of the pan, like so. And that's it. Now, it looks like our oven is still at 146. So we're going to have to wait a few minutes and wait for that. The oven is preheated for 350. You want to make sure that you remember pot holders as a safety precaution. Some older people have dementia, so therefore they would forget pot holders. Also for energy conservation, electric mixer would also be very, very beneficial to somebody that gets very fatigued very easily. But I'm going to put the brownies in now. I'm going to put it in on the top rack, right in the middle of the pan, or right in the middle of the oven rack. I'm going to put it on. It's got to bake for 20 minutes. I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. I also want to say that if somebody is fatigued, they can also sit down and take a break. Okay, now the oven just beeped after 20 minutes. Take them out of the oven. One thing I do want to say is, when it comes to like mental function, you want to make sure you have enough cognitive ability to be able to complete the task, stay on task, and keep focused when it comes to cooking, because that's also another important thing. Right now I'm going to take a toothpick and I'm going to test and see if the brownies are done. Okay, now I'm going to take this toothpick and I'm just going to stab it through. And it's still pretty gooey. So I think I'm going to put them back in the oven for a few more minutes. Because, you know, we all know that sometimes, you know, some ovens cook faster or slower than others. Mine usually cooks faster, but I guess this evening it's not. I'm going to put it on just for about 2 more minutes and then we'll rechuck them. Hi everyone, back again. It's been 2 more minutes. I'm going to pull them out now, the brownies out now. I also forgot to mention that, you know, the certain type of diseases that this activity would benefit. They would probably be somebody with depression to increase their mood, and also somebody that has like some type of arthritis, either rheumatoid. It would help them kind of start moving their fingers and start to get that motion and that flexibility back in their fingers. And a good time of a day to do that would probably not be in the morning, because sometimes people have flare-ups in the morning. Might be later on that morning would also be good. So here is my finished product. It looks pretty yummy. And thank you today for joining me in my kitchen.